Like this video and subscribe channel right now, or you're going to face terrible luck next week. Bigger isn't always better, and it's been proven time and time again. Especially now where wearable technology is fast becoming the norm. Devices and components are only going to continue to get smaller and smaller. From miniature attacks from the 80s to what some people consider to be the world's smallest computer, here are some of the smallest devices ever made. Number 5. Smallest batteries. Nowadays, almost everything runs on batteries, which is a good thing. I mean, really just try to imagine that the only way to use your ultramodern smartphone was to be plugged into the mainframe. Yeah, I don't think so. Battery technology itself was improved by leaps and bounds, since the first practical battery was invented in 1800. Not only in capacity, but also in size. Batteries have been getting smaller and smaller, all the while increasing in capacity. How small am I talking, though? Well, about the size of a grain of sand, for instance. A research team from the Wyss Institute at Harvard University and the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign have managed to create microbatteries the size of a grain of sand. Even more amazingly, they made these microscopic batteries by using a 3D printer. Researchers used a custom-built 3D printer that extruded special links through a minuscule nozzle. Reading created the batteries, and note cathodes were purple, and a green case encapsulated the parts before an electrolyte solution was added to create a working microbattery. Of course, the applications for a battery that size could be endless. From the top of my head, they could be used to power medical implants, such as pacemakers, or just smaller applications like a bunch of them for a flashlight. Beyond the medical field, the technology could be used to power insect-like robotics, tiny cameras, and microphones as well. Before moving to the next number, we just want a small favor from you. Like and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get 1 week good luck for you. Try this, it really works. Number 4. World's smallest camera. This is hard to believe because that tiny speck is no bigger than a grain of sand. With the insane dimensions of just 0.575 by 0.232 millimeters, the OmniVision OV6948 is officially recognized as the world's smallest camera by the Guinness Book of World Records. Small, but most definitely not incapable, it is good for 40,000 pixel color images using an RGB Bayer backside illuminating chip. But why make a camera that is this ridiculously small? Well, it has been specifically developed for use in medicine, specifically surgery. With this camera, surgeons now can see inside the tiniest of veins in the human body, something that they wouldn't have been able to do so before. Although there are some cameras that can technically do the same thing, only the OmniVision can provide clear quality images. It captures at 30 frames per second and can have an analog output at 4 mm away without too much noise. With the OmniVision, surgeons are going to be able to perform microsurgeries with more accuracy and precision than ever before. And it will definitely see use in fields like neurology, ophthalmology, and cardiology, spinal injuries, urology, gynecology, and arthroscopy. Number 3. Smallest TV. Making things smaller isn't a recent thing. Believe it or not, people have been trying to make technology smaller since the 70s. Most of these tiny products created during that time were either useless or, at most, impractical. But if you had a micro device back in the 80s, especially when you were a kid, you were the coolest kid in the schoolyard. Take this extremely cool, albeit, again, highly impractical gadget, which came out in 1982. The Psycho T001 looks like your typical digital watch, but if you look at the watch face carefully, you'll soon realize that the tiny 1.25-inch square is a TV display. Yes, my friends, you are looking at the official Guinness World Record holder of the tiniest TV screen, which was awarded in 1984. And mind you, that record still stands to this day. The T001 was a product that cost Psycho millions of dollars in 3 years to develop. I know what you're thinking right now: how do they cram all the guts of a standard TV into something as tiny as a watch back then? Well, they actually didn't. The watch came with a small box that looked like a Walkman, and this is where the guts of the TV are actually at. And since you can't fit decent speakers under the watch as well, the package also came with a set of headphones. Of course, most of you modern viewers are probably going to ask what the heck is a Walkman next. Well, that would need a totally different video. Let us know in the comments if you want to learn more about forgotten tech in the past. Hint. Anyways, the T001 was first released in Tokyo and Osaka during the summer of 1982 with the price of 98,000 yen. So let's see, crunching the numbers here, that would be about 125,000 yen today's money, which is also around 1,150 Americans. That is an expensive watch, but if you wanted to be on the cusp of modern technology back then, you'd need to spend some money. But just what kind of tech is that amount of money gonna give you? Well, actually not much. Again, to keep the size down, Psycho used the smallest LCD screen they could find. However, having a resolution of only 31. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take me 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal: you just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribes button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 15 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. Number 2. The world's smallest gun. It is called the Miniature Revolver C1ST, and is manufactured by a company called Swiss Minigun. This aptly named revolver is absolutely tiny. At just 2 inches long, it also weighs less than an ounce, and you could easily mistake it for a toy, but it's definitely not for the kids. They are 2.34mm caliber rimfire cartridges that come either as blank rounds or live rounds. It is considered a collector's item, and only a few of them have been made since the company started to make them in 2005. The initial run only consisted of about 300 units, with the company only making 100 or so units per year thereafter. Each one of them would cost you about $6,200, but there is also a more expensive model. The NRA-1YG is a make of 18 karat gold and can be customized with all types of grips, from ebony to even diamond. It even comes with a tiny rocket launcher that launches real rockets that explode in green, red, or white. One of these bad boys can cost upwards of $60,000. If you're a gun collector in the USA, and you want to have one of these as part of your collection, well, tough luck, as they're banned in the USA. The USA federal gun laws outlaw any working firearm with a barrel less than 3 inches long. One more reason for it being banned is the size of its bullets. Firing a cartridge essentially smashes the bullet, making it impossible to trace using ballistics investigation. Not that it's lethal at all. On the contrary, the manufacturers say that the projectile launch from this gun wouldn't even carry enough power to penetrate the skin. The small caliber bullet only travels at around 400 feet per second and carries a force of only about 0.71 foot-pounds. Take note that it takes a minimum of a 1 foot-pound of the force of pure skin, making this woman incapable of even penetrating the most vulnerable parts of the body like the eyes. Still, the USA stands on its ban on these weapons, saying that anything that fires a projectile is inherently dangerous. Number 1. World's smallest computer. Okay, so this last entry is a little bit contentious because the term computer seems to be thrown around willy-nilly. A calculator is generally considered a computer, and these modern game consoles that we have nowadays are just souped-up computers with particular parts. What does a machine have to be classified as a computer though? Processor, RAM. Well, if that's the case, and the University of Michigan can definitely claim to have made the world's smallest computer. The thing they made is basically just a cube measuring at just 0.3 millimeters. To give you a bit of context, a grain of rice simply looks massive when sitting beside it. Despite its minuscule dimensions, its creators somehow managed to cram a processor, RAM, a photovoltaic power system, and a wireless transmitter inside. These components would definitely qualify in this micro machine as a computer, but before we do that, let's see how the thing is used first. According to the new atlas, the tiny computer is designed to be used as a precision temperature sensor, able to monitor temperatures and changes in regions as small as a few cells. It is pretty precise to about 0.1 degrees Celsius. It does so by converting temperatures into time intervals and comparing that to a steady time interval transmitted to the chip by the base station. In the future, such a machine could have a lot of applications, but it's currently being tested as a viable tool in cancer detection and treatment. Researchers hypothesize that cancer cells are generally hotter than healthy tissue, so they plan to put that idea to the test using this precise temperature sensor. So it's basically a smart thermometer when it all boils down to it. Another thing detractors of the machine point out is the fact that if the device loses power, all of its programming and data stored in the RAM are wiped. This could be a problem, since the machine relies on light for power but is designed to operate in dark environments. Example inside the human body. It may have its supporters, its detractors, its uncaring, but I'm gonna end this debate right now, because there's one surefire way to test to determine whether it is a computer or not. I looked this up, I have no idea. Do you know of any other microscopic pieces of tech that didn't make it to this list? Let us know down below in the comments. Also, make sure to check out the channel's other amazing content. Don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for more upcoming videos.